maybe this is a played out narrative, but I think it's nice to simplify your life, and when you own less, there's less things that can distract you and bother you, and I think that definitely contributes to some level of satisfaction. Just to own less and to really, really like what you have.
Whenever I go on vacation with my parents, they fill up the entire car and we're like, you're going for 4 days, and they have like 7 suitcases.
Car, that means that I have their suitcases on my lap because there is no other spot. I've got like Mrs. Masonis' shoe suitcase on my lap.
And then they're like, man, we really overpacked for this. I didn't wear any of these clothes.
I used to be into these Zero Halliburton cases. They're like the metal ones that bad guys have bombs in movies. And then what I found is that as I make my bag lighter, I can do more things with it, I can go more places with it. And so now everything in there is as small and as light as it can be. My general rule is if it's not something I would use in a city I live in, then I don't need it.
I've always been a little bit strategic about the way that I assemble things, but I just used to have way more stuff, and now I've pared down everything where I essentially don't bring anything unless it has 3 or more functions. I only wear things that can be a part of 4 or more outfits, and that might be pretty normal for a guy, but for a girl, a lot of the times you have a top that can only go with a certain pair of shoes or a certain pair of pants, and that's really unrealistic because, for example, I need to feel comfortable going 3 or 4 weeks with just 1 bag of clothes.
Sometimes I'll kind of overload it, and then every once in a while I'll kind of go through and be like, wait, I don't need this, I don't need this.
I think the psychological shift was just to be able to do more and to see more and to move more quickly, to not be restricted by the stuff that I own.
I have 1 pair of pants. I wear these pants every day. That's kind of a cliche in Silicon Valley to say that, I think. But it is nice to eliminate the choices that you don't care about so that you can focus on the choices that you really do care about. Some people's understanding of minimalism is that it is this optimization process. You know, there's some kind of group that tries to get by only owning 100 things. The way that I think about it is that every object I own has some inertia to it. They can be anchors or they can be kind of propelling me, right, if they have some velocity to them. I used to be way more minimal. I mean, it could be ridiculous if I called myself a minimalist with what you can see behind me here. I used to be much more minimal. I used to live in a van. I used to own very few things. And then at some point I realized that there were things that I aspired to do with my life that required, for example, a lot of tools. But I do try not to own things whose inertia has kind of a chilling effect, right? Where it's like, oh, there are things I want to do, but I won't do them because, you know, if I could move there, then I could take this opportunity, but I can't because I own all this junk.